Here I was thinking BP, right? They're installing these charging points here in Australia and in other countries to charge your electric car. So clearly BP are going green. Well, unfortunately, that's not the case at all. In fact, BP are dropping any of their green plans to go all in on oil and making as much money in the shortest possible time that they possibly can. Hello, my friends. Welcome to the channel. I'm Sam Evans. You're watching the Electric Viking. It's great to have you with us. What's the deal here? Well, unfortunately, the truth is this. BP is getting rid of its goals to do with renewable energy. And its chief executive said it will scrap a target to increase renewable generation by 2030. It's going to return to fossil fuels, to focusing on fossil fuels as part of its get-rich strategy shift announced recently to tackle investor concerns over earnings. Investors say, we want you to make more money. BP says, okay, no worries. We'll basically extract as much fossil fuels as we possibly can to try and make as much money as we can. Why? Well, there's a very good reason for this. BP's shares have underperformed versus rivals in recent years, and the company has dropped its target to cut oil and gas output by 2030. Now, the CEO, Murray Auchincloss, told investors the company is abandoning its target to grow renewable generation capacity by 20-fold between 2019 and 2030 to 50 gigawatts. Two sources close to the matter have claimed the reason is money. Now, I don't think this makes sense because renewables are actually very profitable for a lot of companies, especially some of these mega batteries. BP's plan to drop the target has it's really shocked a lot of investors. A lot of people sort of seeing this as a massive cash grab. And a lot of people thinking, really, BP as a company does not necessarily have a strong future. Yes, the world is going to continue to need oil, even when we're all driving electric cars, and even when we have batteries and solar, we'll still need oil, but nowhere near as much. And we know this because the biggest oil company in China says that the peak has already come and gone. They're saying that oil demand will go down by 5 to 10% every year. BP's earnings reports show the company has 8.2 gigawatts of renewable generation capacity, and that for 2019, BP's net wind generation capacity reached 926 megawatts. So what this means is BP ditched a target to reach core earnings of 49 billion this year and instead set an annual percentage growth target. They've declined to really talk about the details, but BP has said in a call with analysts it will drop its targets, and it's because it failed to reach its 2024 EBITDA target of 40.9 billion. All of this comes down to investors demanding better performance, wanting more money, wanting to get richer. The company will make public plans to divest assets and cut other low carbon investments to reduce debt and boost its returns. So why is this happening? Well, the truth is this is happening all across the sector. This is an industry norm, unfortunately, that is trending in this direction. Across the energy sector, major companies that shifted their portfolios in response to the need to lower carbon emissions and curb climate change have returned their focus to oil and gas, where returns have become easier as fossil fuel prices have rebounded from pandemic lows. The investor environment has also been transformed by the re-election of US President Donald Trump, who is obviously a climate skeptic and an advocate of fossil fuels. Pressure has become intense on BP after activist investor Elliott Investment Management built up a nearly 5% stake. Elliott, known for pushing change at companies such as Honeywell and Southwest Airlines, is demanding an overhaul, including tighter cost discipline at BP. A separate source familiar with the matter told Reuters Elliott wanted BP to scale down its green energy spending and sell assets such as wind and solar. BP would also benefit from selling its Castrol lubricants and its network of service stations to unlock value and boost share buybacks, added the source, who basically saying, you know what, BP's gas stations, its service stations, well, the truth is a lot of them are going to go out of business because more and more electric car chargers are being installed all around the world. So even if you feel like, well, hang on a minute, in Australia, only 10% of cars sold are electric. Well, yeah, here's the thing. In Europe, electric car sales are already up 40% this year. In China, electric car sales have hit around 55% market share this year. Many experts say by the end of 2030, that is the point in which no internal combustion cars will be sold in the biggest car market in the world. I mean, China, their car market represents around 36% of all car sales worldwide. So, under the previous CEO, Bernard Looney, BP pledged in 2020 to cut oil and gas output by 40% while rapidly growing its renewables by 2030. BP lowered that target to 25% in 2023, and now they're lowering it again. BP's annual earnings have lagged behind competitors such as Shell, Exxon, and Chevron, and so they're basically saying, you know what, we want to make more money now. Since taking office, the new CEO has slowed investments in renewables and announced plans to cut costs and reduce staff by 5%. BP could also announce cuts to its annual low carbon capex by 2 to 3 billion. And BP's 2024 capital spending was around 16.24 billion. They want to lower that spending, get rid of some of the staff, get rid of a lot of their renewable energy plans, and just simply make as much pure profit as they can. In the short term, this might work out well for them. In the long term, I think it's a road to failure or catastrophe. Either one, it really makes no difference. It's a dead end to nowhere. Guys, let me know what you think about all of this in the comments. Some absolutely spectacular sales numbers, my friends, for some of these Chinese companies. To be honest, I don't like to think of them as Chinese electric car manufacturers because I think when you meet the people that work there, you don't really think, hey, you're Chinese. You just think of the brand, the car, the product. Is it good? And it is. The car brands that I talk about on this channel for this monthly sales report are the ones you should be paying attention to. These are the ones that are disrupting legacy automakers. And not to mention, they're also the car brands that make good products where they have a future. You know, they're not just like selling things really cheaply in order to get market share. They are selling at really good prices, but their products are amazing. And as a result, sales in China. This year, around 50% of all cars sold in China have been electric or plug-in hybrid, with most of them actually being electric. And that means that in China, electric car sales have skyrocketed this year versus last year. Let's have a quick look at the car companies in China that are doing the best so far. Hello, my friends. Welcome to the channel. I'm Sam Evans. You're watching the Electric Viking. It's great to have you with us. BYD, we just saw their sales delivery numbers. Now, I'll have a separate video just on BYD because they have had a great month. They delivered around 373,000 vehicles.